on the Mega Drive again. How you doing, Icy? So it's Castlevania Bloodlines again. Last week, a new version of the patch that we used last time we streamed this came out. So we've already done the Eric Lacard playthrough. We played Castlevania Bloodlines Revised Edition 1.0. We're now playing 2.0. And as we jump into this playthrough, that's what we'll be using, 2.0, while we play as John Morris. It also adds the option of Japan normal or USA normal, along with expert. I think Japan normal is... Yeah, last time we played as Eric Lacard, and now we're going to do the John Morris playthrough with the whip. Stage 1. Of the Castle Dracula, Romania. So this game is also pretty much like the only time Castlevania ever references the Bram Stoker novel, Dracula. The idea is that John Morris is the son of Quincy Morris, who is one of the protagonists of Bram Stoker's Dracula. One of the possible love interest. One of the men who has interest in Lucy. Before she is killed by Dracula. I believe John is more powerful than Eric, but he doesn't have like the 8-directional control. He can only whip diagonally upwards. He can only whip diagonally upwards while he's jumping. So I do believe the whip is more powerful than spear. As well it should be. It is the vampire killer for a reason. He also doesn't get the super jump. So this is much more traditional Castlevania. It's not an uncommon thing of like the Belmont character being the stronger of the playable characters, but the compensation is that they're less agile. The end result, I think, personally, is still that Eric Lacard ends up being as a result of that. Well, they both control about the same in terms of like the movement. They both have the set jump pattern as is tradition. It's just that Eric can do a super jump. compensation for that John can swing with his whip. So it's much more situational than Eric's super jump. No super jump, but we get the Belmont swing whip. We will have to use. I believe level 4 has a separate path for John and Eric. Eric can start down John's path, but can't go through it, because he can't swing along the ceiling and there's no ground. While John can't climb up Eric's path because it requires the super jump. It's like Eric could get up there, but John can't. It's exactly the kind of thing you want from one of these 16-bit action platformers when you're a kid. Reason to play as both characters. Let's go with the boomerang. The moon! Yeah, there's some bosses that Eric will definitely have an easier time with because of the I think the spear does actually reach further, and because it can aim in multiple directions without any messing around. But when you can hit the enemies, John will do the damage faster. I believe that's the case anyway. So I see. Do you have any interests in Castlevania? Visually, this is a really cool game. It does different things. It's not as atmospheric as like Super Castlevania 4 is, but it does a lot of really cool visual ideas. Like the reflective water at the start of this stage. Bloody tears. This is a good rendition of Bloody Tears as well. Oh, it's Clem. You're right, Clem. The audio for the game hasn't been connected to the stream for the entire time. Icy didn't say anything. For shame. Welcome in, Clem. Oh, I went around the wrong way. Fuck. I need to get some practice with the whip swinging. Welcome in, Clem. I assume you're not going to be around long. Oh, you're home. Yeah. $5:30, huh? Big step. With a big step. Alright. He'll be here when you get back. Alright, now we gotta deal with the wizard who's causing the rain. He was you. Yeah. Ah, yeah. And now we go down. So I see, how's Final Fantasy VI going? You enjoying it? You enjoying it more than Clem? Oh, that's the bottom anyway. Anyway. Other axe. I want the boomerang. There's again. I could definitely do with some wall meat. Oh well. Go on. There's a fun Castlevania fact with Bloodlines. I believe this was the first game in the series that Michiru Yamane provided compositions for. And of course, as all Castlevania fans know, she went on to become one of the primary composers for the series, beginning with Symphony of the Night. There we go. Awesome, that's exactly what I was after. Alright. Welcome back, Clem. Yeah, were you aware of that, the Castlevania fun fact with this game, Clem? I mean, there are several, but, like, you know. Motherfucker. It's so much worse with this than we did on the Eric Licata playthrough. The fun fact is, I believe this was the first Castlevania Michiru Yamane contributed compositions for. And of course, she then went on to be like one of the main composers for the series, beginning with Symphony of the Night. The room is blue, I see. You're absolutely right. This game also has one of my favorite, much less common Castlevania tracks in, I believe, the Munitions Factory. It's called Iron Blue Intention.
Die, monster!
Thank you, Isaac. Oh, later, haters. So this monster, this boss, is definitely easier with Eric. With John, we're going to make copious use of the axe. Until I run out of jewels. Bad to have. Then we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. The old jump and whip. Yeah. I think that monster, though, was definitely a good show of, how the whip is stronger than the spear. Because even though you can get that enemy in closer range, see with Eric, I'm pretty sure it takes more hits to kill it. Stage 3, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Well, you won't be able to do this because the sound alerts have a minute-long cooldown for some reason I've not been able to get rid of. But if you ask Clem nicely, maybe he'll type in !6. !success. Well, I guess asking nicely went right out the window.
Success!
There you go. I do love how good the whip is. It's Vampire Killer. Oh, that level I was thinking of is in Stage 3 then, not Stage 4. Is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because John can't jump up these. So he has to go through here. And Eric Lacard can't cross this area. Oh, it's a big white dragon. So you know what I gave a try recently, Clem? Something that might be of interest to you. Well, that's over. Ninja Gaiden on the NES. You know what? It's fun. It is. It definitely is. It does a very intelligent thing, I think. Of the first level and the first half of the second level aren't difficult at all. So it lures you in and it gets you interested. And then the second half of the second level is where the difficulty really starts. And that's smart. You want to get people interested. You don't want to just, like, have the wall immediately as they start the game. It's an issue you can absolutely argue with Mega Man on occasion. And it's kind of a downfall of Mega Man's choice to let you pick any level from the start. Can't have a difficulty curve, so to maintain its idea of being a difficult game generally, all the stages have to be hard. Some are harder than others, of course. Yeah, it's like the thing that I always give credit to Metal Slug for. I think Metal Slug is really smart in its design by making, like, the game very playable and very, like, achievable until the last stage. And they keep you going with that by also telling you that the last stage is the last stage. Final mission, start. God damn it. I walked off the edge. It's like you play Metal Slug and, like, these days you're absolutely going to be playing Metal Slug on, like, free play. How many places are you going to go that's going to have a Neo Geo machine and they're still also demanding you pay to play it? Nowhere does that. So, like, you can, like, really just grind through it until you're done. But, like, if you pay attention, you will absolutely notice that you'll spend probably triple the number of lives on the final stage than you do on, like, the rest of the game combined. Right, so that's their pattern. That wasn't very... Yeah, like, Metal Slug's case, it absolutely you want to push forward to finish. Oh, you're at the end. Final boss takes so long and has attacks. It's such a smartly designed arcade in that regard. Like, I can't help but have respect. As opposed to like arcade games that just start the game off and you're on a timer. And if you don't finish the game within that timer, you're gonna die. It's also like impossible to do it in that timer. Like there are some beat 'em ups that do. I'm not thinking like specifically a timer so much as your health is a timer. And there are beat 'em ups that do that, and it's kind of frustrating. You think somebody would have noticed these floating platforms around the Leaning Tower of Pisa during World War One? I'm doing so much worse than I did with Eric. I can't believe it'll just off-screen me rather than pushing me across. So, here's fun for you, Clint. I believe this character is the only confirmed American protagonist of Castlevania. I don't think I wanted holy water. Yeah, it's entirely possible. You'd assume his son would have to be American, but like, there's no guarantee that Jonathan was born in America. And I believe that Jonathan and Eric, and John and Eric, are the only Castlevania protagonists who have their birthplaces listed. I remember hating this boss as Eric. I don't think this boss would be so bad if it wasn't for the gimmick of the rotating tower, which, while visually cool, the fact that it moves your position along as it's turning is really awkward. I believe the munitions factory is next. So this should be Iron Blue Intention, which is a really good track. There you go. Hey, how you doing, Peach? I'm telling you, like, this is genuinely a really good track. And it was kind of forgotten, and then Portrait of Ruin brought it back. I can't go there. Oh, goodies, goodies. Meat. Yeah, welcome in, Peach. This might actually be the first game you've been with us, Peach, to see the... No, because you were with us for Lament of Innocence, weren't you? I was thinking, like, the first game you've been with us to see the classic Castlevania whip. Ah, fuck. Right, Clem's here. Guess I'm at wall meat again. They took the wall meat from me. It's difficult to get, like, an actual origin on a lot of the Castlevania stuff, because the credits for the original game were all pseudonyms. Back then, Konami especially had a thing of their developers were not allowed to be credited for the game, like, to prevent other developers from poaching the stuff. So, like, a lot of the stuff with classic Castlevania is, like, we don't know who made a lot of it. And so we don't really know who made the decision to use the whip, or overly why it's there. I think it's believed that it is an Indiana Jones influence, and that's about as much as we know. Oh, that was a mistake. Yeah, when we do the original Castlevania, And we get to the credits. The credits are all pseudonyms that are references to classic horror names. Like Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee. Sorry, what happened there? Let's go. Yeah, like, it's all, like, it's presented as tongue-in-cheek reference to classic horror names. But the practical result of that is, like, we don't know who developed a lot of it. Who the director was, who the composer was, that kind of thing. And that especially is kind of a shame because of how influential Castlevania is to the industry. Especially musically. Wee. Then that was pointless. Wee. Oh, fuck. Dracula conspiracy. That bastard. All I know is I love me some Castlevania. I love playing it. I love having excuses to play it. Good. Yeah, the whip itself, though, is a cool idea. It's a cool idea in a genre that was kind of overpacked with people using their fists and people using their swords. And the whip definitely helped Castlevania stand out. No, I'm gonna keep the boomerang. Me, sir. I'm not always good, but like there are times where I'm pretty good. Hello. Kick. And Blue Intention is such a good song. I legit love it. It's so underrated. And this is such a good looking game too. I'm not overly into the way a lot of Mega Drive games looked. Probably largely as a consequence of growing up on Super Nintendo, which definitely had like a, say, brighter, maybe more diverse color palette, maybe. Like, if you look at games that were on both the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, you'll see exactly what I... Like, this is such a good looking game. In an upgraded whip. And it's another one of those Castlevania games that gets out of the castle. I feel like you could reasonably argue like the best Castlevania games in a lot of circumstances are the ones that spend less time in the castle. The only time you actually spend in the castle in this game is the first stage. And then it's a trek across Europe. You son of a bitch. All that because I didn't want the holy water. And it's this guy. I feel like he definitely throws less of those cogs in that attack with John than he did with Eric. Here we go, the big one. Yeah. Less than an hour in, and we're 2/3 of the way done. Good work, me. Stage 5. The Palace of Versailles. Thank you, Clem. Unfortunately, this is where it starts to become an issue. This level was... I'm whipping it good, Icy. I promise. Oh god, I'm confused. There we go. If that dust doesn't actually hurt me, then, like, fuck it, walk through it, take the... Oh no, blood? I can't drink this. I'm me. Oh, you dick. Wait. I remember going through this opening section of this level so many times the last time we streamed this. Tell you guys, relentless aggression. Oh, you dick. I looked away for 1 second to check the chat. That's when the thorns attacked. But no, seriously, like, relentless aggression, you'd be amazed how often it will benefit you in Castlevania. Fuck off. This is probably why the first stream, the Eric playthrough, was like just under 3 hours. Alright. Alright. Yeah, that's an idea to discuss with you at another time, Clem. I think it could be funny for something. Alright, finally. Now, if we die, we won't respawn. God fucking damn. I got complacent. Should have known better. No complacency. Oh my control. Sometimes RetroArch be like that. Yeah, that feels better. Relentless aggression. No complacency till Brooklyn. Gonna let you past, fuck folks. I feel like this playthrough is actually making me look really bad at this game. Gotta hold up to do that. At least we get to skip this room. I remember this room gave me a lot of trouble as Eric. The fuck was that, John? I mean, it's not gonna spawn now, is it? Oh. Alright. Boy, I'm glad the screen went back down there. Hello. I'm here to kill you. You're an abomination against God. Oh no. Can't believe they decided to just give monsters guns. Very irresponsible. Excellent range extent. Yep, I'm just terrible. Evil Pillar. What will they think of next? Thank you, Clem. Like last time, because I know I did this last time we did this, I had it in my head that that's probably the final boss of this level, and then I'm like, wait, no, it's not, because I know the final boss of this level is Princess of Moss. I'm hoping I can do this. Well, I can't. Here we go. Mothra! Princess of Mothra! Oh, we're almost there. Damn it. We have one hit left. Good. Was there a place I could have gotten meat before that boss? There probably was. Was it the platform? Did I need to hit the platform? No? Odd. Alright. Well, you're gonna die now, bitch. Look at that, double axe hit. That's quality gameplay. Oh no, I'm out of jewels. Fuck. Fuck off. America. Alright, final stage. The Castle Prosper. Have we called that Prosperina? Prosper P? That sounds stupid. Oh, the laser shooting Medusa heads. I have anger towards thee. Right, Prosper Penis. I will say, I don't feel like this level is as bad as the previous level. This one just has a few gimmicks you gotta deal with. The last level just has, like, the worst enemies. I've done that so many goddamn. I'm doing absolutely fine, and then that one bit trips me up. I get visually confused there. That's the one time this section wins against me. Every time. This one's not so bad. That's right, I can whip so fast you'll die before you can get an attack off. I am the American. Now the worst part. The death fight. Which isn't a fight so much as it is a boss rush. And then a fight. Death, you're a dick. My push is shitting. Important thing is not to get greedy. In particular right now, because this health I've got, I can get like one more, I can get one heal item out of death. And then like I've got to do all of it with that. The bat in the tower, which my least favorite of these boss fights. On. The moving of the tower is the worst. Especially when it's a fight that comes back around for a boss rush. I'm gonna start with that fight. I'm gonna specifically single that fight out. That was it. Every other fight I can deal with, that fight just has the potential RNG of being knocked off to your death because of the spinning of the tower. None of the other boss fights in that sequence have an instant death condition. So I don't want to do all the others to get to that, to die to that. Start with that one. I think this is like possibly one of the bigger failings of this game, because it's a really good game, but it also has like no preparation material for you for these boss fights, whereas like the other games do, especially for the Dracula fight. Remember the last time we did this, we had to go up and down the stairs to get the stuff to deal with Dracula, whereas like a lot of the other games have hidden areas for that. Slim, my boy. Thank you, Bane. That one. Ban, remove, ban, ban, remove, ban, ban. Alright. How you doing, Ben? Have you figured out what your entrance music is from yet? There you go, you got it. Didn't want that one. God damn it. How you doing, Ben? Go. Good. Doing alright. Doing okay. You know me, I'm always happy playing Castlevania. God damn it. Got 5 minutes till an ad starts. If I'm lucky and we snooze that ad, I can have this game done before that. But it's gonna depend on like how long the last boss takes me. I'm gonna get death this time. Absolutely. See how long it takes me to get death done. Win this. Come on. Come on! Honestly, John Morris is so powerful compared to Eric. It's absolutely insane, the difference in damage. We're gonna hardball it to the end. Alright, so this is a 5-phase final boss, I believe. Get away, weirdo. Didn't get the position right on that. One down. Is it time for Chrono's redemption? Might be. Oh. I remember this phase and it was bullshit. I don't care about how many jewels I've got. I'm just gonna go until I get the level 3 upgrade for the whip. And then we're gonna go out. Depending on my positioning, I'm confident I can do that first phase without damage. Only thing that I'm unsure about in that first phase is the first eye attack that does the helix. Double helix. I need to be in the right position for it. So what is it? Two phases of Elizabeth, then 3 phases of Dracula. There we go. Do this. Fuck. Missed time to jump. God damn, just die. Three phases of Dracula. Theme of Simon. Do this. Dracula, you fart face. I've come to kick your ass again. These two. These three. Can't do it in the next 7.5 minutes. Then there's an ad break. No, the holy water is fucking worthless right now. I will get 0 use out of that holy water. I'm actually really scared of just walking on. It's absolutely a thing that happens in Castlevania games, and I just don't remember if it happens in this one. Should have tested that back in, like, stage 1. He's a good one. There it is. Fucking come on. Part 1. Can't believe I'm taking so much damage off this phase, and it's because the dick's flying into me. Castlevania Bloodlines. The John Morris playthrough. Which I feel like I did so much worse on than the Eric Lecard playthrough. God damn. And yet I did it so much faster. Thank you, Ben. Johnny has succeeded, living up to his family. And if you play it on expert mode, you get another line of dialogue, another line of text. So we've got like a minute until the ad starts up, and I cannot pause it anymore. I've used all my snoozes. So the only thing you're gonna miss when this ad pops up is the credits. This is a really good Castlevania game. Like, I definitely recommend it if you are into classic Castlevania. It's got a couple of frustrations, but all classic Vanias do. Stage 5 can suck a dick. But aside from that, like, for the most part, it's really fun. I'm not overly fond of the final boss rush. Death being a boss rush of, like, three other bosses, and then Death, and then 2 phases of Elizabeth, and then 3 phases of Dracula. That's kind of too much, I feel. Like, aside from that, it's a genuinely really fun Classicvania. I highly recommend it. That was a snap. Oh, sound design, Michiru Yamane. Princess of Moss. I want to make like a modification to the ROM, so when Death pops up, it doesn't say Death, it just says this bitch. Fart knocker. Good game. Highly recommended. Try expert mode now. I think the reward is worth it. It's an issue Konami games absolutely had around this time of like limited continues, and you don't get the full ending unless you play on expert mode. And the full ending, more often than not, was just like another screen on the ending. Like that was it. Although I'm pretty sure there's one Contra game that you can't even play the full game unless you play it on hard mode. And I can't remember which one it is. It could be hardcore. But, like, it could be Contra 4. But, what Simon is... or adds to of Castlevania once more. Bloodlines is complete. Portrait Room was already on. Honestly, chances are, like, we'll do... How early it is? Yeah, depending on what it is, I have everything. Welcome back. So we got the Wheel of Castlevania lined up. Depending on what it lands on, we might start it now. Although, let me double... There was a time a few weeks ago where it was very close to landing on Lord of Shadow. I thought it was going to do that. And it was a session where we'd finished early. Like, ended pretty early. So we were going to jump into the next game right then and there. And if it had landed on Lord of Shadow, it would have been like, well, I guess we have to install this. So I installed it, and I was like, now we've got everything ready, so whatever it lands on, I can start immediately. That's not true. Bloodstained, none of the Bloodstained games are currently installed. And if it turns out to be something like... if it turns out to be Dracula X Chronicles, I'll have to set up a new layout for that. Will I? No, I'll just adapt it to... Yeah, the widescreen will be fine. It was... No, Dracula X Chronicles is fine. So if it lands on one of the Bloodstained games, we'll have to install it. But yeah, let's spin the Wheel of Castlevania. Castlevania Legends for the game. Very nice. In my best Onion Bro voice, you say.